What's up, everyone? Welcome to our Stranger Things series finale coverage. Dan, Xander, Felicia, and Billy here. Jen will be joining us shortly. For you Jen truthers out there, so here's the deal. My niece got me this sword for Christmas, and anyone who's going to talk bad about this finale is getting their head chopped off.
Oh, dude.
Up, dog. Call me nearly headless Nick, bro. Let's go.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. It's going to be me and Dan against Xander and Billy. Okay.
So no, listen, I already know one or two things that Xander's mad about, and I understand, and I totally understand it. But this episode did tug at my heartstrings, and I fell on the side of liking it. But I understand the criticisms, all the plot holes. There's say that's bad about this episode. I totally understand the gripes, but I liked it. One bad thing, the final battle didn't last long enough. It was probably about 3 minutes, maybe. But what we got was dope. I thought that was a sick final battle. I don't know. Xander, I know you're mad about one thing. Can I say it? I know you're mad about one.
Yeah.
All right. So when they got to the abyss, no demigorgons, no demibats, no demidogs. Is that
Ran out of budget?
Yeah.
No.
Actually,
I am just going to keep my mouth shut until it's my turn.
That is one of the things I am least mad about.
You're mad.
I was going to say, that's not that bad. Yeah, consider.
I have a list of 23 things.
But here's the thing. The last time we saw a demigorgon was when? Was that part 1? I don't recall seeing a demigorgon.
Episode 4, yeah. The sorcerer. Yeah.
So where the fuck
did they go? We didn't see any in part 2 when Robin
we saw a dead one that they shocked.
When we thought Robin was going to die in part 2, Shock Jock. We saw him in the hospital. They were Lucas, Jerry, and Mag.
That was a dog.
Yeah, not Demogorgon.
Okay, all right.
So I'm like, where the fuck did they go? I don't understand where they went.
Did you hear the Duffer Brothers' reason for it?
Bullshit.
Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, so all the kids caught Vecna by surprise, so he didn't have any of them around.
They were all the groomer.
For the finale?
Yeah.
That's their reason.
Ultimate plan.
When he's doing major plan, he doesn't have reinforcements?
No.
Okay. All right.
They caught him by surprise.
Okay.
They did catch him by surprise, though. I will say, like, he was all hooked up.
Since he was literally just in Hopper's brain and could obviously see the plans that they had because he was in Hopper, and he's, can see through Will, but for some reason decides not to for the rest of the season, even though that's his whole plan in the entirety of season 2.
That's like the last.
He's like, I've got big plans for you, Will. I've got big plans for you, Will, in this fucking season. And then the big plan was, I forgot you exist.
That's like the last time you want to be caught by surprise, though. You want to be ready for that. Go ahead.
So even though that's really annoying and their reasoning is really stupid, I personally think that if they were there, it would have just made the fight worse. Like, I just feel like it needed to be a one-on-one. That's just how I felt. Like, it needed to be 11 versus.
But
Henry.
also, you could have had him there and then got rid of him. You could have had him there and then had Will take them all out. Like,
true.
Easiest shit ever.
Yeah.
True.
Cool shit too.
But I like that it was a one-on-one, is what I'm saying. I guess that's why I wasn't as upset about the Demogorgons. There are plenty of other worse.
They could have been there, and then Will just takes them all out in one fell swoop, boom, and then it's like badass for Will.
Yeah,
that could have been cool.
No, true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just saying that was like the least thing that bothered me out of all the things.
I wasn't bothered much at all. I really liked it.
I'm with you. I can't say the first time I sat down and watched it, I genuinely enjoyed it. I didn't notice a lot of these things until after the facts when all the reels came out and everyone's like nitpicking. When I first watched it, I was like crying. And I laughed, I cried, I went on like emotional roller coaster. I feel like I got what I needed, but that's just me.
I've seen the reasons why people didn't like it. And like I said, like I understand it, but
yeah,
I had a good time watching the episode.
Exactly.
I was enjoyed.
Here's my overall. We can get into specifics. My overall reason that I did not enjoy it is the entire show is based around Dungeons and Dragons, which has a very, very hard magic system, which means that there are specific rules that you must follow. That is what makes D&D fun. And then by the end of this show, they're like, yeah, do you like all the magic stuff we kind of explained? Like the way we explained it doesn't really matter. We're not going to like stick to it, which like you can get away with in Harry Potter because it plays fast and loose through the entire series. And there's a few things where you're like, you know, why did you introduce time travel and stuff? But it can be like hand waved to a certain extent. But for Stranger Things, it's so meticulously explained that when you don't like stay within the bounds of your own explanation, I'm just like, why even explain all of the backstory and give me explanations for everything if they're not going to be applicable to the situations that you write yourself? They're not filming a documentary. They're making the rules. They make up what everyone can do and can't do, and then it drives me insane.
But I feel like a lot of what they explained in the game happened, right? Like Holly ended up doing whatever she's doing. Holly, the heroic, what'd they call her? And then like Will had his powers, so he had magic a little bit.
It's like if they read Dungeons and Dragons rules off of Wikipedia and they're like, we kind of get it. But when you play the game, the reason it's fun is because certain characters can do certain things and nothing else. And yeah, Billy, go.
Yeah, so like I love you too, Xander. Like even your reasons, you're such a nerd. You're like they're bastardizing Dungeons and Dragons. This whole thing, this whole season, I love Stranger Things. Stranger Things was about a cool 80s vibe, a group of friends who actually spend more than 8 minutes together in like an entire season, like they do in this season and in last season, but especially in this season. The fact of the matter is that they've had a decade to tell a pretty straightforward sci-fi story. And every season, we've seen that they have the capability of good dialogue, good character development. Maybe they're not willing to take a lot of narrative risks, but whatever. It's a kid's show right at the end of the day. You plug any of these episodes in from this season, you have bad writing. Not just like snobby, hey, we think we know good writing and this is up to par. This was bad, lazy. I felt like they had the Audible descriptions on for blind people. They're like, I'm going to tell you how I feel now because I'm really scared that we might die in this big battle that's happening tonight. That type of crap. That epilogue was great. It was awesome. It is supposed to make you feel good. But God damn it, if this season didn't earn it at all. Dan, you're talking about the final battle. It was harder for Barb to get captured than for them to finish off the final boss in this show. It's insulting. And the problem is, it's what all of these motherfucking streamers and all of these motherfucking studios are doing now. It was never about finishing the goddamn story. It was about merchandising the motherfucking shit out of the stupid thing. If you didn't see the goddamn play, the play was the most important thing for this whole goddamn season. You got to go to Broadway to see that. You start watching the behind the scenes things, you would think that maybe like, okay, behind the scenes things are going to make me feel better. They make you, like Xander said, they piss you off even more because you find out they took their best writer from the entire series and gave it to the play instead and didn't have the writer for season 5. Maybe you need your fucking best writer for season 5. This is just like Game of Thrones all over again, and I am such an asshole because I knew what was going to happen, and we did it 3 goddamn times over our Christmas. And I'm sorry, and I'm not looking. We're going to go all plot holes, and it's all annoying, but it's just what the fuck? It was so easy to finish this fucking thing, and they did everything possible. Every actor looked so goddamn uninterested. You can dude, like Millie Bobby Brown smiled in 3 years.
Dude,
I'm so disappointed. I love this show. I love Stranger Things, and I cannot believe this is the conversation, and these are the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. I'm so sad about it. But it's really how I feel. It's really genuinely.
That's okay. Yeah, you're allowed to have.
Ask my wife. I'm screaming half the time every time these episodes.
Can we agree though? It is really hard to end the show. Like what show had a good? What show had a good finale? Like Breaking Bad, and what else?
Very few shows have awesome finales.
The Wonder Years, MASH.
I think it's because you're all white that you don't think a show can end well. Because if we're all Japanese and we watch a lot of anime, that's why anime is good. Is because every anime, like 99%, have an ending, like a real one, like a real purposeful. We thought of this, like the story exists because of the ending. And Stranger Things, I guess, has an ending, and it's the ending of season 1. And then
Did
anything
Sean
after
Levy-
that is
Like, did Sean Levy need to pull all that bullshit like all these last couple of months, saying how perfect they landed the ending, how amazing it is, and like,
dude, all of them.
why did they do that?
But wait,
David Harbour did.
Wait. Question. What do you not like about, okay, like the ending? Like, is it 11 going away that bothers you? Or like, how did you see it ending? Because I always thought she would be gone.
Well,
I don't
geez,
see how they
lady-
would move forward with her there. Like, it would
We don't
never, they
know-
would never move on.
only she knows, and the Duffer Brothers know if she survived or not.
Right.
Yeah.
They told her not to tell Noah because he's apparently
He just tells everybody.
Yeah,
to me, the season is the ending one. Like, I can't just say like the final scene or the epilogue is nailing the ending. I think it was pretty obvious Elle was going to be gone, right, or dead or something. Like the waterfalls, like they spell it out pretty good, right? But again, I don't think they nailed the ending. If I think about the end of Game of Thrones, I don't just think of the finale. I think of the whole last season, right? And when people are talking about the end of Stranger Things, I am going to think about this whole season and being annoyed, right? And like Xander said, I just watched season 1 again like a couple days ago. I'm like, God damn it, the show is good. It's just, but it's what's happening now. It's breaking things into parts. It's the stuff they put out there, like how much money they spent on each episode. Where did that money go? Where did all that money go? Like, you know how many great shows of so many writers who can't get a goddamn job in Hollywood, or director can't even get a pilot made for like a couple $100,000, but they're spending $30 million an episode on that? Like,
and 50 million. I think they spent $500 million on this entire season, which is like 50 million average per episode. That's like Game of Thrones final season budget. And like, as much as the writing of Game of Thrones sucked, damn, it looked so good. And the set pieces they had were gigantic, and they have so many extras and pyrotechnics going. And the end of this, I was like, it's so obvious they're all on a green screen. Like, what is happening?
No, some of them were set deck. I watched it. Some of it was built, and I heard that they like to go on site as much as they. Because I was gonna say, if there's one thing out of this season, is how it looked. I felt like the set decorators did a good job. I watched a lot of behind the scenes. Okay, I saw they built a lot of that stuff, like the thing Nancy was in, like getting attacked. That was all real. A set.
But
Built that.
But the post they may have done too much touch up in the post to make it look fake, even though it was real, right? It's like that.
And dude, and
maybe
I don't even think it's the like use of green screen or sets. I think it's the lighting and like the tone that they take for this whole season is so over the top that people on Twitter are like, oh, this is actually all a dream. That's why it looks so bad and like bright and colorful, and everything looks like it's lit in a studio at all times. And like season 1, there's so much dark, and this whole season it's like a Power Rangers episode. It's like so brightly lit. Everyone is just like, I can tell where the key light is. They've all got like perfect rim lights. There's always perfect shadows. I'm like, just go outside and shoot something. I don't know.
I want to like not be the whole full negative. So like, I do want to know like straight up, what was everyone's like actual favorite part of the season? A certain person or like an event? Like what got you jazzed? I got a couple in my head that I like.
The ending of episode 4. I thought that was epic as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, when Vecna comes out, that was probably one of them.
That was awesome, and it had me really hyped for the whole season. As a whole, this is definitely not my favorite season, definitely not. But I don't know. I see the gripes and I see what people are mad about, but when I was watching it, I enjoyed myself.
Me too. And I cried a lot.
Put it this way, like when I watched the finale of Game of Thrones, I was pissed. And then this, I enjoyed myself. So like when I'm seeing on Twitter that people are saying it's Game of Thrones all over again, I just can't I can't see.
We do like a poll.
I don't hate it as much as everyone else. That's how I feel. As for favorite parts, though, I will say any part with like Henry or Vecna, because I feel like he gave it his all with this role, and I feel like he acted his ass off. So I just liked every Vecna scene. And Derek. I really enjoyed Derek.
Derek was mine.
Yeah. Yeah, Derek's funny. I enjoy all his parts. He's good. He's awesome.
He was great.
He's like your mom. Yeah.
How many times did he say "suck my fat one"? Fucking
few
5?
times.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of starting to be again. I am just like a curmudgeon in this, but like my problem in my head is like why are all my favorite things about the season like one-liners or something? You know what I mean? Or like a little quip, but it's not like, wow, it was Will's journey. It was Elle's character arc. It was Vecna and getting the backstory and finding out he's actually a complicated character, right? Like I thought there was some avenues there where they could have easily, frankly, just gotten more out of it. And also, I think the season started a little slow too. I wish they had kind of just started it with like episode 4 almost, right? Like just like do the first real crawl, have shit blow up and go, and like let's get some momentum, right? Like they ended season 4 with the entire town on fire, and then the season starts and they're going to high school. And I was like, wait,
right, they're getting bullied in school. I'm like, how do they have time to get bullied? Fuck these guys.
It was 18 months later, though. Remember?
18 months.
But why?
18 months.
He needs 18 months to get 10 kids?
Because and we then I feel if they did too much, everyone would be like, this is so long. If they would have gotten into every little like thing that happened, it would have been too long. The finale was already 2 hours.
All right, hold on. Jen's here. How do we have 2 hours? How do we have 5 people on the screen?
I only see 4. Oh, wait.
What happens if we... Oh, hold on. I'll figure it out.
No, I was thinking like 3 like the guests.
Yes, yeah.
I want to talk about this comment. Sheena Kuma.
Yeah, you couldn't see a fucking thing
during the last season of Game of Thrones, especially the war where Arya kills the Night King in one episode. Yeah, that it was so dark, and Walking Dead had a problem with being too dark as well.
Yeah, I remember that
during a lot of moments. And yeah, I would say it looked better than Game of Thrones, especially that when you're talking about that specifically. Hello, Jen.
Hello, hey, everybody. Hey.
Oh, bro.
Are you on the wait? Is that a black hoodie that you have?
Oh, I have the black one upstairs. This is the Christmas hoodie.
Is it black though?
No, it's navy blue.
Oh, I didn't. I thought we only sold that in green. That's good to know.
I haven't even got it yet.
Yeah, I thought it was only green too. That's cool.
Yeah. So where do you fall? Did you like it or not like it?
I liked it, and I watched it 3 times, and I see where all the issues are. But I try to keep in mind that this is like set in the 80s, and I remember all the 80s stuff that I grew up with, and a lot of those movies didn't show every answer, and they left things up to the imagination, and they kind of had these unimaginable like kids doing this stuff, and then they never got in trouble, like in Red Dawn and in Desert Eagle and some of these other shows. And I'm like, it fit the bill for me for an 80s movie. A lot of people I think are looking at it in the perspective of all these new shows that we just watched that are 2025, which is a good 45 years later. So to me, for what it was and a coming of age story, I thought it was perfect. I laughed, I cried, I did miss like the demos, and I didn't understand that, and I think that the Duffer Brothers had a bullshit explanation. I think it would have been better if they said that Vecna, in order to move the planet, needed the Demodorg's energy and they got absorbed. Something like that even would have been a better fucking excuse than the bullshit that they gave. But for what it was, I loved it. I did think like, oh shit, I don't know how Nancy didn't die. But when you watch those 80s things and you see some of the stuff that happened, I'm like, you need your hero team together. So I kind of stand with the decision that they made, and I like that no one really majorly died. I don't even think Callie died, to be quite honest. And I do believe, I think that Elle is alive, and I've gone through and pulled out all the evidence to say that she is. So I don't know. I really liked it for what it was. Did I think with all the theories that went around online and that we came out with, it could have been so much more? Fuck yeah. But they kept it to their simple 80s story, not 2025. We deep dive and go through all this stuff and come out with these crazy theories because we have all this other sci-fi technology, knowledge, and experience. In the 80s, they wouldn't dream about half the shit we have. A glowing microphone? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. In the comments,
that was perfectly said. I loved what she said, and I agree with it 100%.
Isaac Asimov wrote Foundation and Dune before the 80s.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Star Wars, Star
But
Trek.
you know what she means, like the Goonies. Does that really make any sense? Like,
Like-
Stand By Me, like, does that make any sense?
I'm not
Like,
talking about the sci-fi because this wasn't so much sci-fi. It was more supernatural and horror and mystery. It
a
wasn't
story
really
about
so much
kids.
sci-fi.
I can't accept that premise because they did it so well in these other seasons. They were able to have it be freaky deaky, supernatural, sci-fi, whatever the hell, Twilight or whatever you want to call it, and also make me feel something because of the words and because of the things happening, and not because they were explaining the words as they were saying them and while they're doing it. Like, they just didn't finish. They didn't know where they were going, and they got really lazy. It should not be debatable whether someone broke up in a scene or not. I am so sick of having to watch them.
that was a bad scene. That was a bad scene.
That was a bad scene. That was a bad scene. I didn't even know that they broke
It's
up
just
until
one
I heard the
example. I just
explanation.
don't want to
I
go
was
and list like Xander's got 800 of them.
Yeah.
You can type it out. Just like they just.
But also,
You know
I heard
what?
Netflix
I also-
cut a lot
I
of it
do-
out. So they did do more. It just didn't make the cut.
No, they said that there is no deleted scenes from this entire season,
Wow.
I did see
Okay.
that too.
which is
But
crazy
when
because
another-
I would assume there's like obvious contextual
Wow.
scenes that like would have been on the cutting room floor for time, but would make a lot of gaps of logic kind of meld together in this season. And no, apparently not. They didn't even shoot it, which, yeah, it's crazy to me.
They're
All right,
gonna
everyone watching, let us know in the comments where you side. Did you like it or not? And Jen, say what you were going to say, but Xander, I want to hear some of these plot holes.
So I feel like a lot of
Some of them.
reasons why that some of these things are left unsaid is because they're doing the spinoffs. What do they have, like 4 spinoffs locked in or 3?
You
Or
were
I
giving
know that
these
it can
dudes
still
a
get
flip chart.
chopped. but we're getting
Two
animated.
spinoffs plus the animated show, so 3.
Right.
The animated show is not really a spinoff. It's going to take place in between seasons 2 and 3,
Yep,
which
2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really cool.
That's cool,
So
though.
I'm
I think
excited.
it's gonna be sick. Animated's
Yeah.
cool for this like
I'm
franchise.
excited
It
for
is.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say not everything needs an explanation? I see people online like, where are Derek's parents? Who gives a fuck about Derek's parents? They're not main
I don't
characters.
care
Why
about
would they
Derek's
go out of
parents.
their
I'm
way
right
with
to
you.
show them where they are? Like down to like the littlest little things that I'm like, do we really in any other show? Would you have needed
Yeah,
that
the biggest
explanation? Or are we all
nitpick-
just shitting on it? Because
Exactly.
other people are shitting on
The
it.
biggest
I'm with
nitpick
you,
that
Lisa.
pissed me off was where's Max's mom at graduation? I'm
Right,
I
like-
don't
For
give a
real.
fuck where she is.
That's a
dude.
really
Yeah, she
random
wasn't
one.
in the hospital. She wasn't at graduation, but we already established early on she's a piece of shit mom. That doesn't
She's a
show up.
shitty
So much
mom.
more to
Yeah.
You
be
never
than
saw
that.
Steve's
She's a
parents. the
shitty
whole
mom.
show.
That's typical.
We
in the
right.
80s.
We
Yeah.
don't even know Steve's parents,
Steve
to be
is an
honest.
orphan for all we know.
Yeah,
True.
right?
Never seen him care. They don't
He
even
could be
care.
living on the
Like,
streets.
No one
We
gives a
don't
shit what
know.
happens to Steve.
And apparently his dad was Mr. Cool Guy in high school.
Right.
It's
the job
okay.
same
You're
as
you're
him.
living, David.
David,
Yeah.
you're just here for the love of the game. Appreciate it, man.
Also, I want honest opinions in the comments if you liked it. Like your first original reaction after watching it, not after you watched
Rachel,
reels
wait, isn't
or after
Rachel who we
people
were
said
looking for?
things.
No, it's someone
No,
else.
Christine.
No,
It's Christine.
Christine.
Yeah.
Okay, but Rachel, you're cool too. Love you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I think this comment, it's I guess it's how you look at Stranger Things, and it kind of is like if your expectations were set at a level where you wanted explanation and not closure, I think you didn't enjoy it. And I think if you wanted closure without explanation, it works. And it's the same way that like you will take offense to this, but don't take offense to this. Sometimes I like bad things too. Like sloppy things, and I'm like, this is like Captain America: Brave New World. I was like, this movie's fine, and it's not good.
Or
I know it's
Twilight.
not good. Twilight, exactly.
We love Twilight, and it's
Yeah.
not the best written
Xander,
thing
we
or
watched
whatever.
every episode of The Rings of Power. We still
yes,
enjoyed it. Even though
we
it sucked.
did.
Right.
I think age group also has a big play in how you really viewed it and looked at it. I really,
100%.
really do. Because you have a whole generation that deadass grew up with this from the time they were like 13 or 14 and watched it all the way till
It's
now.
nostalgic.
And they're like
yeah.
23. And then you have the kids that are like me, that are older, that are like Gen Z. I mean, that are Gen X, right? Or like millennials that are much older that remember more of those movies and what it was like to grow up in the 80s. So that nostalgic like hit definitely harder for us. And then you have an in-between generation that kind of heard about it, but you guys like sought for that truth and explanation. Like the older millennials, like you always want that truth and explanation. So you can see that level when you look at the age group of the people is exactly how their perspective was
Okay.
watching this finale is how they respond.
Rupert loved it.
I just think
Rupert loved it.
Let me
Let's not
get in.
hate on people for loving it, though. If they loved it, they loved it.
Statue meant. I just think it was genuinely not well executed, done. It was it just looked different, tonally was different. It just, they were most of the time had main characters separated. They were always on a green screen. It's what it looked like. And it just, again, there's so much they could have done.
But in every season, they've always gone. In every season, they've always gone in separate, different ways, and they've always fought whatever monster and like 3 different separated.
It's been worse off for it every time they separate. Like last season when they're all separated, they
season
were better
4
only in the final episode when they're all finally back together again. They're all separated. It's not the same thing. It's not the closure. Like the whole thing should have been them all figuring it out together. They were never together.
They planned the whole thing together. They all knew what Callie and everybody was going to do. They planned that all at the end of volume
the whole
2.
season, like the structure, like the Duffer Brothers are. This is not a real life thing. Like they could have written the season where they could have made this more focused with the group together and not have them separated the entire season. And again, just for just arbitrary reasons. Oh, what's the upside down? Oh, thank God I found this notebook. Like, thank God, right? Like,
whose notebook do you think it was? You really think it was
Brenner's dad. It was Brenner's, but it's like, again, like that's how we're gonna find out the biggest thing of the reveal of the whole show, and everyone doesn't even find out. Like 3 people know.
I saw a really interesting theory, and I thought this as well. I don't think those are Brenner's journals. I think those are Henry's, because Henry's the one that can draw. Remember, Brenner can't draw, and that journals had very detailed drawings in it. And I was like, really, Brenner can suddenly draw? And it didn't dawn on me. And then I caught a reel and I shared it, and it was like, yeah, that's pretty dead on.
The problem is,
I like that.
You're right. That's sick. I don't even give these guys enough credit that they did that on purpose. Like, again, I think it's like you guys are like doing better theory crafting than was like.
Brenner can't draw though. They set that up when he tried to draw a dog. So that's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
And this, what you guys are talking about, plus this comment, which I will read, ties into my existence. I saw an amazing theory about how it is not actually over, and there's all these clues at the end, like how they are wearing green robes at the graduation. When earlier Nancy said the gowns were orange robes.
Yeah.
They're wearing orange.
orange.
They said they were green. Okay.
Yeah. So that kind of hits at the point that I think Billy's trying to make, which is it's not so much that the ending isn't satisfactory in a way that like explains it for the 2025 brain. It's unsatisfactory in a way that they don't even stick to their own writing, like, or the editing, like Mike coming up the stairs twice in the tower shot. This is a good this is a good reason when like Nancy said the robes were green and they're actually orange, when the dial changes from gray to red for some reason, when Will thinks that you can get milkshakes at the drugstore that wasn't a milkshake place, and unless you lived in like 1960s, he wouldn't have been alive when they were like, there's so many things that you're like, oh, Xander, you guys are just lazy, and like you don't understand your own world. Like you built a world that you don't even remember to reference or stick to.
Well, I have a theory about that, Xander, because all those points are dead on 1,000%, and I caught them all too, and they've been all over the internet. So I was thinking, since they introduced time travel but didn't really do much with it, think about like our world now. You know, we have like Mandalorian effects, and we're like, no, that was fucking Bearstein Bears, and we say like the Monopoly guy with the monocle, like we know certain things, and like a whole nother generation will be like, what are you talking about? And when you Google it, it's not that way. So what if because they are going to continue to build off of this universe. So what if that's done intentionally to set up their future spinoffs, even though it might not be there that you see, or they already said like in 20 years they're going to bring them all back to have another show like that, like that's in the pocket and they've all discussed it, like they'll come back, and I think they said like 10 or 15 years, then it'll be like a 20-year jump because they'll be old at that point, and like what happens next. So I think that'll be interesting. So what if there was like a timeline shift, the way like a bunch of people, you see all those theories on like TikTok now, like we've shifted timelines, like it's not the same, all these Mandalorian effects. So I think they're incorporating that.
I love that you're such a nerd that you're calling Mandela effects.
Oh, Mandela effects, Mandalorian. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. I didn't even catch it. Sorry.
I would love to think that all of these things were not on purpose, I would love to think that, but I don't think that. I think that is the biggest cope that has ever existed. The whole thing that like there's actually a secret episode coming out on the 7th. That is the most cope I've ever seen from a fandom in my life. Being like, no, the finale that Netflix put millions of dollars into promoting that everyone knew was on January 1st and everybody marked their calendars for wasn't actually the end because that ending did not suffice. So there's actually another ending that's going to explain why the last ending was so bad. Like, whoa, that's the most. Like, I can't even imagine if Game of Thrones ended and everybody was like, no, there's another season, guys. Don't worry. Look at all, she flew the dragon to the left when she always goes to the right, which means that there's another season. I'm like, whoa, this is, I don't know. It's interesting.
That is interesting.
It's interesting. I don't think any less of anyone for liking this, though. It is not bad enough for me to be like, you have terrible taste. There are some things in the world, Felicia, that people like that I think less of them for, and this is not one of those things.
Yeah.
We want people to like things. Like, it's not about, like,
yeah,
thinking anyone is dumb or shit. It's just like, and it's cool because you can actually see, like, two people can have completely different reactions to watching this.
The only people I think are dumb are the Duffer Brothers. That's it. I think they're very dumb.
And George R. R. Martin.
He's just fat and lazy. He's not dumb.
Fuck him. He's a scam artist too.
Scam artist. Will that book ever come out?
I do love that they left it ambiguous, like that ambiguity in there, so that we can have these discussions. I fucking love that we're divided and we're not like all liking the same thing for different points. I have to say this: we might fucking rag on the Duffer Brothers, but just for them giving us this to have all these discussions is fucking awesome. I have to fucking say, we'll be talking about it for fucking years.
I think.
And debating
exactly. They created these characters in the world that we're even talking about and saying that we loved before this last season. So
yeah,
exactly.
Props to
I think 11 1000% survived. I think she did.
I agree with you. Actually,
she survived.
Yeah, I was reading a thread. I don't know if the Duffer said it, but it was basically someone being like, she actually doesn't have enough time to physically make it from the truck to the hole. And she would have already been in the truck because her and Mike are like touching in that scene. So she couldn't have been an illusion at that point. She wouldn't have been able. So like, here's another issue that I have, I guess. So in the ending, either we have Kali casting like the illusion while dying, which is fine because that's the only way that it makes sense, because Elle couldn't have used her powers because there's all the cannons around and she's talking to Mike in the void or whatever. Cool stuff. But that leaves like two options, which is either 11 could use her powers and that scene was real and she died, or they left Kali in a building to bleed to death for no reason other than she's like, they have to think we're dead, when she does the illusion for Elle to make them think that Elle is dead. So she could have done the same thing for her. So Elle and Hopper just like leave this girl to bleed to death and then get sucked into a void of nothingness for no reason.
Well, she wanted to die. I'll just say that.
Did you notice when they went to the roof, like Murray like kind of didn't catch on that Kali wasn't there, and they didn't say a fucking word that entire scene. They didn't say shit. Murray came to he's like, wait, where's Kali? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. And they didn't say anything. And in my opinion, like, friends don't lie. I don't think that Kali was shot. I don't.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen the trajectory. I think that whole thing was set up because she had to change her heart from the scene before when Hopper had that whole conversation. I think that they know how to go in each other's minds without anybody noticing because they're so close, and they've done that before where they've gone in and out. I think they completely devised a brand new plan. I think Hopper was meant to see that she bled out so he would believe it, but eventually would figure it out. I don't even think Kali died at all.
When I first saw Kali got shot, I was like, Loki, like, this isn't real, but it never paid off because we never really got the answer. But I didn't believe that she actually got shot. That was my perception of it.
Exactly.
I was, at first I did think that, and I did think Elle died. Like, it wasn't until after that I started, like, you hear people say things and then you're like, oh, put things together.
Yeah.
I was emotional. I was like, I could not stop crying. I was sobbing, guys. Like, the way they were all like, being held back by the military reminds you of season 1 when they lost her that time, and they're all screaming. I just felt, I don't know. I gotta
fill my water.
That didn't make you guys emotional at all. Like, you had no feelings at that part.
Dan, go do it.
I gotta fill it up, but when I get back, I gotta say some shit. Tanner's busy doing something for his daughter, but I gotta say something he said in Discord. Don't let me forget. I'll be right back.
What was I just gonna say?
I asked you if you had any feelings at that part when they were when they thought she was gone. When she was
yeah, I guess so. I had like some feelings. I thought Millie was pretty good in that scene, but Mike was really, really bad. He was really bad. Like, I was like, what, are you trying to be bad? Like, is this, it felt like so awkward, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you think like they just hate Millie, or like the writers hate happiness? I don't know. I think it's weird that the whole thing of the show is like this abused child is, you know, used by the military and is like a tool all the time and is constantly like doesn't even know what friends are, to get a bunch of friends and then in the ending either die or like get no closure and have to leave all of her friends behind and go live a life of loneliness. It's like, it seems like a really weird ending when you're like, yeah, look at this poor kid, and her whole arc is kind of like finding friends. And then I guess it's almost better if she dies for her friends in the end, but I don't think she did. I think you guys are right that she lived, which means her whole arc is like nothing.
I think it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, but I kind of understand why they had to do it.
Well, I think her whole arc includes all of that, but her whole arc was really sacrifice. Like, she came there, and even though she went through everything she went through, her whole purpose was to learn what it was to actually sacrifice yourself for somebody, right? At first it was Papa, and she didn't realize she was being abused, and she was doing whatever she had to for him. And she realized that was wrong when she kind of saw, then she met up with the whole group and gang and realized what friends were. So if you're going to have to use these powers, if you've been gifted with these powers, you're like special. If you know that you're going to have to sacrifice or be used, then at least she did it for the right reasons, and she did it on her own accord and her own choice. She learned enough to speak for herself and make her own decision. Like, that coming of a person, like, she would have never known to make her own decision under Papa Brenner's control, and she learned that through them. So either way, she was always going to be a sacrifice. Whether Brenner sacrificed her, Henry sacrificed her, she got to choose how she went out. That was her own, no matter what she was going out. But she got that choice, understood that choice, had the knowledge and the wherethrough because of the experiences that group gave her. Like, that was her arc, in my 100%. Opinion.
Jen's better at talking than I am right now.
I agree. Like, that was her arc in season 1 and 2, and then I guess season 3 and 4. It's weird to me because I kind of realized every character hasn't really changed since the ending of season 1. Like Elle's whole arc is the sacrificing for the friends, and then that's the end of season 1, and then season 2, you know, she learns the friends thing, and I don't even remember season 3, and then season 4 she learns that
3 was the mall.
You know, to love Mike. Oh yeah, that the mall. Like, it
Billy
just
winds up sacrificing himself.
Yeah, the only person I feel like that got a significant character arc ish is Dustin. It's like Steve becomes a nice guy after season 1, doesn't change. Nancy's super smart, learns how to shoot a gun, doesn't change. Lucas becomes a jock and then goes back to D&D, and it's never talked about again. Mike's the same person. 11 is the same person. Hopper's the same person. Joyce is the same person. They all like stay stagnant, except for Dustin, through almost the whole series. Jonathan, I guess. Jonathan actually probably has the biggest arc because he becomes a stoner and then stops, which is good for Jonathan because that shit's not easy to quit.
I was going to say, Nancy grew because she realized in the end she didn't need like Steve or Jonathan. Like, she didn't need a man. She just needed to be on her own.
Exactly. She knew she needed to find herself. Being smart was not enough. And I feel like Hopper had a big arc too, because he had to let go of Sarah and learn how to let go of Elle, even though he didn't have all the answers. And rather than running away and becoming a fucking alcoholic drunk again, he decided to spend his life and share somebody and move on forward, where he didn't move on forward past Sarah's death. So I thought,
Hopper was like a fuck up. He was a pill,
and he was like fucking whoever and whatever.
Yeah, but that was kind of like the lesson from season 1, wasn't it?
No, because he was still acting like that in season 2.
Yeah, when he
And
comes
he's always
back.
grieving.
Yeah.
Right. And he couldn't let go of Sarah up until the very end. Like, that's how Vecna got into his mind, because he still was holding on to Sarah.
Yeah,
I like Nancy being like that. I like Nancy.
I like Nancy like that too. I like that she's the only one with a gun. Why everyone else was too scared to hold the gun?
She gave Mike a flare gun.
So good.
I'm gonna be like an anti-woke annoying dude, but I actually hate Nancy's character so much.
Really?
Oh my god, dude, so much. She's just like
her.
the smartest and also the bravest and also like the best at killing people and demodogs and demogorgons. I'm like, I don't know. If you're doing the D&D thing and everyone's like got a part and a party and a role, which like they kind of loosely do, but Nancy's just like, I'm like DPS healer and tank all at once. Sorry guys. I'm like, damn, dude, that's hardcore. I don't know. Why was she the one to step up to be the bait? It seemed like it was supposed to be like, yeah, obviously it's Nancy, but I was like, no, like there's so many more characters in that situation where you could have put them as the bait and I would be afraid that they would die. Nancy is not one of them. If you put anyone else in there, you could like at least have a little bit of tension of like, oh, is it going to be Steve? Is it like they did the whole thing with him falling off the tower and going to black and then he's fine. I was like, it's clearly, you know, that everyone's like, oh, is it going to be Steve? Just play with that. At least give me that. I believe I'm truthfully, I'm a hater only because this show had like, I guess it was a lot of time, which makes it hit even harder. Like the expectations are even higher, but I think the expectations were set even at the end of season 4. I was like, okay, even on episode 4 of this season, I was like, damn, they're really doing some stuff. Like that Will reveal was sick. And then that was the peak of the season. That was the best scene in the whole season by far, was like Vecna coming in and icing like 20 dudes solo and then Will like popping off. And then it just, I don't know. I guess it was different writers. They had like their actual good writers on the first few episodes of this season. And then the Duffer Brothers wrote the ending. I'm like, you can tell. You can super duper tell.
Part 1 was definitely the best part.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna argue that.
Look, we all agree on
we
one
all
thing.
agree on that.
Look at that. Wow.
Agree. Part 1 was the best.
I'm proud of
Corey
it.
agrees with just me. Nobody else.
No, he liked the finale. We were both very like emotionally invested in the finale. That's why I can't lie. I can't sit here and say that I sat there and hated it. I sat there and I was like, oh, no, like, and then I'm crying and then I'm laughing. Like I enjoyed it. I can't say I didn't. While at the same time, I do see all the plot holes. I see all the things. I just maybe didn't care about certain things as much as other people.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Like what I said before about Derek's parents, about the Demogorgons, didn't really care. I also don't even feel like the fight was that short, only because I hate like movies like Avengers, shit like that, where the fights last like the fucking whole movie. I'm like, let's get on with this shit. They lost their whole childhood to this guy. If you ran into the guy who took your whole life from you, are you not going to try to like destroy him within a second? Like, we don't have time to waste.
That was like the end of like Super Mario Brothers. You go through like 9 impossible worlds, and the final Bowser, you just have to walk past him and grab the axe, and the game's over.
I was like, just about to say that, Billy. I'm like, I feel it's almost like an 80s video game because all the levels.
Oh yeah, by the way, you did all this crazy, ridiculous. 2 dimensions? No, 3 dimensions, and they're only in high school. Oh, but no, just press that button and that giant spider monster's gone. Don't worry about it. Let's worry about graduation.
The spider thing was, like, the Mind Flayer was very easy to kill. Him is not what I'm talking about, like her fight with Vecna.
Do you really think Mind Flayer's gone?
Yeah, the Vecna fight was fine.
I liked it. I felt like if she walked in and like started talking to him first, I would have been so annoyed. Like I love that she got in and break them down. Like I hate when they talk. And so many, like, I know you guys love like superhero and I like them too, but a lot of the times they're like face to face with their like enemy and they're like talking about fighting. I'm like, just fucking fight. We do not have time to waste. I don't want to sit here for 3 hours watching you scream and fight and things explode. Like I hate it. So I guess that's why I didn't really mind the end fight. I like that it was nice and quick and that there was time after to close stories, because that's really what the story was. It was about kids and their friendships. That's like the core of what it always was.
How did you guys feel about Joyce lopping off Vecna's head, her being the one that did it?
I was disappointed he didn't say anything because they know each other. I thought that he would have said something.
I thought he was going to say her name
or something.
Did you hear their explanation the Duffer Brothers.
Off screen,
Dude,
that was terrible. That's
they
terrible.
realize the guy that's been terrorizing an entire universe. He's trying to collide universes, and you know this guy from high school, and you never mention it on the show. And I saw people on Reddit being like, "Oh, you would have had to see the play to know that's even a part." I'm like, no, they put it in the show. They put it in the show, man. If it wasn't a Netflix show and they assumed people weren't on their cell phones, they could probably use that as a plot point, but they can't because most of the people watching the show, like Billy said, need an audible explanation of everything happening on screen because they're not even looking, which is crazy, dude. You spent $500 million on a season to tell me what happened instead of showing me what happened. Why is the Mind Flayer a solid thing now? That seems like the most like downgrade. You were a fucking cloud of smoke with superpowers and you turned yourself into a spider. He's still but okay, another thing. All the powers come from the Mind Flayer, but he has no powers. Can anyone explain that to me? That's not a nitpick, right? That's like crazy. The fact that he has teeth, that's it the whole time. Why does...
Well, I think Jen explained it that like Vecna created the physical
body. I think that
Vecna he is the black smoke.
Why? But why did he create a physical body? Why does it need a physical body?
You're right,
and also, why does it want to come to Earth? Which is kind of like, I guess if the story's about the kids, whatever, I don't need a motivation. But it would have been nice to be like, why did all of this happen? There's no reason why any of this happened other than like, this guy's bad.
The world was corrupt. That was his reason, right? That's what he says to Henry.
No, that's Henry's reason. The Mind Flayer's reason. Why does the Mind Flayer want Earth? He likes cold things.
Didn't you see?
I don't know.
The Abyss kind of sucked, bro. There was nothing there.
The Abyss was a hot desert, so that doesn't make sense.
By the way, we were talking about
bats.
missing things.
We're the Demodogs.
Killed Eddie. Where were the bats the rest of the time?
Yeah, they were MIA.
It would have been nice to see some bats.
They were at the spa. Eddie killed them all, I guess.
Eddie got to every single one.
Eddie got to all of them. Dude, it would have been cool to see them like in town.
What were they like popping? Like Dustin and Steve? Were those like eggs of demos or like what was that they were like popping with the spheres and it was like
pimples?
Falling on them? What was that?
Just pimples.
Just pimples? A lot of people were saying it was like
popping.
the eggs of something. I don't know.
I thought it was eggs of something too.
I would seeing those things hatch would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked like the mouth of the dark lights.
I wish the Mind Flayer had talked, right? Like
he did a little, but only like for like a second. It was like a very short
Henry.
Yeah.
Like, talk to the kids though, you know what I mean? Be like, "Hi kids."
You need to go watch it. Welcome to Derry if you need those vibes because that shit was I loved it.
I need to watch that show still.
It's really good. I think you'd like it, Dan, to be honest. The last 2 episodes were really, really good.
A lot of people said if It Welcome to Derry had not come out and finished so well the month before this came out, then this would have done so much better. And I have to agree. As much as I love Stranger Things, It Welcome to Derry was perfection. It really, really was.
I do think expectations were high. They just were. Because I didn't have high expectations. We knew already that it wasn't gonna we knew the Duffer Brothers. We know how they work. I didn't really expect any differently. That's why I said I got it's just kind of what I expected.
All right, I gotta say, go ahead, Xander. Sorry.
No, you go, Dan.
So, Tanner's a military man. He served for the military in Canada, whatever that's called up there. And I don't know. Is it Marines? I don't know what it's called. So he was pissed that the party, or the main characters, killed a ton of military people, including Akers, who that death was sick when Elle made him shoot himself in the
absolutely, I like that
in the face.
That was insane. Continue.
They killed a bunch of military people. The military did not know what Vecna was trying to do with the worlds colliding, and they killed probably 15, 20 of them, and there are just no repercussions. He was pissed about that.
Dude,
didn't they have a kid locked up in a torture chamber?
Did they?
Yeah.
They had all the kids locked up. They were trying to lock up every kid
Yeah, the
from the
military-
80s.
yeah, I
Right,
don't
right.
feel
They
bad
probably
for
thought they were
for
just trying to save the
fictitious
kids or
military
something.
men who had
I
the
didn't really care about that
prison
either, because that's also another part of like what Jen was saying in certain movies where certain things like that don't get explained.
Yeah.
Like they just don't
Yeah.
get in trouble, and it just like, because then what, we would have saw all of them in jail. That's the ending everyone wanted, was them in jail. Like everyone would have been mad if that's what happened.
No, you
Or
have
two?
like a literal like 1 or 2 minute scene where Dr. K gets arrested by actual military people, and they realize that what was happening in the town probably needs a cover up. So they like, hey, you guys, if you don't say anything, then we won't punish you. Cool. We'll go. That's it. That's all you
Yeah,
need.
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I think Dr. K, they introducing her was a bit pointless because we never really got like,
They
why
just
did
want-
they add her?
They just wanted Sarah Connor. That really.
Yeah,
That's,
this one is Linda Hamilton.
yeah.
I think,
They
yeah,
just
but they
wanna-
needed a continuation from the military that was like after Papa Brenner. So they needed somebody there, like
Mhm.
that whole military.
They shouldn't have killed Brenner.
That's what I mean, man.
Yeah.
They
shouldn't
needed.
have.
They had to
Brenner was
replace
awesome.
Brenner with Brenner, and that has a gun
And
because
Yeah.
they killed him, and we're like, oh shit.
Shit,
We kind of wrote ourselves into a corner. Okay, another way. I'm going to
Not
bring
to
up
go
another
to-
point that they wrote themselves into a corner with, which is Will being connected to the hive mind. And in season 2, they talk about if they extract it from him, he will die. And I don't know, it just seemed weird that they kill him and nothing happens to Will. And then someone asked the Duffer Brothers about it, and they're like, well, he was off screen. Like,
No,
yeah,
wasn't that's what
yeah.
they said?
yeah, he was off screen. Will was off screen. So he was actually off screen screaming in pain for that whole scene, and we just didn't see it, I guess. And he doesn't die for some reason because no one remembered what happened in season 2. And
You see,
like,
that's what I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. I just
No,
like
no.
I read something completely different, and that's what's driving me nuts. Is you see so many things online that are just false,
Like
and then
what?
we just like run with it. I thought they said, I can't even remember what they, something about like how he was disconnected from the hive or the hive mind at the time, so that's why he didn't feel it. But I
But
believe
then
what
he-
you said about how
he
they said off
reconnects
camera
to the hive
because-
mind to rip off Vecna's arm in the scene after.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Like-
so confused. Yeah.
Yeah, and how does 11K? So all the powers came from the Mind Flayer's particles, which we know like came from Henry's blood. That's how 11 gets her powers. So 11 still has powers after the Mind Flayer's dead, I'm assuming, which doesn't really make sense, but I'll let it exist, I guess. But then a bunch of the particles that are supposed to be the Mind Flayer come out of the kids' mouths at the end of the season, and I'm sure that everyone's like, oh, that's for the spinoffs, and fuck you, I don't care, that's terrible, that is not, they just wanted it to look cool because the kids are no longer possessed, and they're like, well, let's just have the particles come out of their mouth. But I'm like, but that means the Mind Flayer is still alive, does it not? Which means that Will still should have powers, does he not? Like, I don't know.
Can I
I
can
just
I
I'll
add-
show
ask,
you.
what was the rock that Henry found as a kid?
It's a piece of the Mind Flayer.
It's a
Who
piece
smoked?
of the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
They said that I watched them. They were on a podcast, Happy Sad Confused, and they said what he finds is going to be a key part of the spinoff, but also saying it's a new location, new characters, new everything. So how? I guess
It's gonna
maybe
be present day probably or
Well,
something.
remember that science. If you watch the play, the scientist was working. That was a Russian spy, and he was a scientist, and he was working with Papa Brenner when he realized what it was. That whole Rainbow Project or the Philadelphia Project. When he realized what it was, he stole it and ran. So they were not in Nevada, and they were somewhere else, like in California, and he made it all the way to Nevada to those caves, and that's why he was like so paranoid because people were after him.
Yeah,
So
sounds
I'm
like a shadow org.
right. So either it's going to be like in New York or it's going to be in California. I'm going to
Mhm.
assume that's what it's going to be. And as far as Xander, what you were saying, I always thought that Will was connected to Vecna, not the Mind Flayer. Like I know the Mind Flayer could infiltrate him, but I always thought the Mind Flayer infiltrated him because of Vecna. So like that Vecna died, that's where like the connection like cut off for Will. But the Mind Flayer just became the particles again because I feel like it's like some type of an entity that really can't be killed. It's always going to exist, almost like it and Mandarin, like Pennywise. It, like I don't know how to explain it, but some type of a cosmic entity that really just can't be killed.
I just wish we found out what happened to Barb.
She did, bro. She did.
Wait.
Just, how hard would that have been?
I have a list. Let me find my list. Okay. Where the fuck is Murray, Dustin's girlfriend, Vicky, Dr. K, Argyle, Dr. Owens, and Enzo from Russia, who don't have any endings? Argyle literally disappears. Dr. Owens, the last time you see him is chained up in the Nina Project in season 4. He's like a guy in the government that wants to help Elle, and he doesn't reappear again after Hawkins' stuff goes down, which is crazy. I'm assuming someone shot him. Argyle, he got too high. I don't know. But Dustin and Susie break up off camera. And the way you know is because Dustin gets hit on by a girl at high school, and he's like, cool.
Or he's
cheating,
like, a little cheating shit.
The same girl from season 1. The same girl, Stacy, from season 1 that he was crushing on, that like tried to pick him
Paul
up.
Reiser. I forgot who Dr. Owens is. Yeah. Paul Reiser.
He didn't come back. I was expecting him. I was really disappointed.
Doesn't come back. Elle's mom doesn't come back.
He was a good character too. Yeah,
that's true. Elle's mom doesn't come back.
Like,
she sucks.
Vicky's a big part of this season, and the last time you see her is when they find her and Max in a closet, and then she disappears.
She probably fucking snitched. She was there when they were getting caught by military. That bitch probably snitched. I didn't like her. I didn't like her, so I guess I don't care where she went. Susie, I mean, they could still be together, I guess, and Dustin's just like a teenage boy and likes girls, and she's long distance, maybe, but also didn't really care about Susie. Yeah.
But she's a huge plot point in the series. Huge.
Susie?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 seasons.
She is a big plot point.
The whole show.
Yeah. And they forget about her, dude. She doesn't exist.
To see her graduating.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
no line. Just one line. Like anything, just acknowledge her.
Just an acknowledgement. Derek's family, that I don't know what happened to Derek's family. Aren't they they left them tied up in a farm?
Yeah. But the thing with them at graduation, why would they be at graduation anyway? Because Derek wasn't graduating, I'm like, where did they go? But also, like, I didn't expect to see them at the graduation.
I didn't expect to see them.
Yeah, they were just randos, like, thrown in there to get to the
side. Like,
I was upset about
Murray's
Erica,
not
though.
a rando. Erica, I guess she kind of has a send-off-ish.
No,
she just
when
sets
she
off
like
the
pops
confetti.
off the confetti.
Yeah, that's
He
pretty
survived
much
the Hawkins earthquake.
Yeah.
I love you, David.
Make a video. Yeah. Put that comment up for longer. We need more Xander videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, how about another one? Elle recognizes Will in a picture in season 1 when they've never met, and it's never explained why. And that was definitely something that you're like waiting for.
Yeah.
Forever.
And they said that they were gonna say something about like who unlocked the door, like to Will.
Oh, they did. They did.
Yeah, they did.
It was Vecna through Dimension X telepathically unlocking the door, which apparently he can do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. He has
So
NordVPN.
The way you say things is very funny. Okay. You see, I didn't even catch that. I was wondering, like, because I knew they said that they were going to explain that, and then they didn't. I was like, oh,
well,
I thought it was going to be Elle or something.
They said it in an interview.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They love interviews.
They release all the show in interviews. Yeah.
Yeah. Every plot hole is filled.
Filled via interview.
Did they explain how Kali escaped the lab?
Nope.
No.
They didn't. No. Yeah. Okay.
Wait. I feel like we talked about this in the Discord.
She gave an explanation to Elle, and a lot of people just don't want to accept that what she said. And she said that Henry had helped her escape. Just like Henry was trying to help Elle escape before Elle like took the piece out of her neck. Like, remember, like Elle, he's like, I can't go with you. You have to go by yourself. And she's like, why? I don't think Kelly asked why. I think Kelly just kept going. But whatever Henry did for Elle, it was implied that when they told the story, that's exactly what happened.
That makes it even worse because we're supposed to believe the only reason Henry helped 11 escape was because he knew that she was powerful enough to rip the chip out of his neck so he could have his powers back. Why would he help Kali escape? Because she can't do that.
Illusionist.
He did it for the love of the game?
No, it's got to be the
or
time
she's
travel
pretty
thing.
powerful as well, though. I feel she can make you see shit that's not there. She could fool literally anyone into anything.
Yeah, but why would the bad guy help her?
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, he saw Elle as like his equal. Like, I don't think he really wanted to be like for Elle. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't think he was a bad guy.
But I think
I guess I kind of took it as like the only reason he's helping Elle is because he wants his powers back. And he like sees a girl. I guess it's like the whole point of Elle as a character. He like sees a girl that is like socially outcasted and in distress, and he takes advantage of her for his own means, which is cool because that's what bad dudes do, but it's for his own gain.
I kind of took it that like, because Callie said she was trying to escape and she ran into Henry and he helped her. So I kind of got the idea, like he got the whole idea of escaping, and Elle didn't never make a move, so he helped Elle escape. But Callie was already trying to escape. She had cast a spell to get out the door into the hallway and ran into Henry. So she was already on her way out the door. He just helped her continue to escape.
True.
So that's what I always thought. I was like, oh, and when he figured out how to help Callie escape because he had no choice because she already was in the middle of escaping, he figured out, all right, I know a way to escape this place. And he waited holding on to that like little key piece of information or detail till he found his equal, which is why he helped Elle escape, later on. He didn't like help her escape right away because he was waiting to see who would be his equal.
I have to say something about this with Eddie Michaels. So, agreed. And I think that if Brenner was still around instead of Dr. K, it would have made the whole, oh, they're going to use me for experiments, like I can't get away. It would have made that. It would have made that a better storyline, because then Brenner would have had the internal battle of, should I just let her go? I love this girl.
True.
Or, you know what I mean? I think it would have been better. So yeah, they should have kept him around.
I agree.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How about Vecna needing 12 kids and always having something to do with the clock, and Brenner needing 12 kids, and it was just a cool number. That's it.
Wait, like that's what they said. It's just
their explanation. They were like, someone was like, "Why 12? Why not more?" They're like, it seemed like a good amount.
You see, that's funny. But another thing, at the time, I didn't notice when I watched. Like, I wasn't thinking, I need to know.
You don't think about the fact that the clock was such a big thing in season. It's like, boom, like every episode ends with like a clock chime, and it was just like
season,
it was just cool. That's
they
it.
even retconned some of the episodes to include the clock chime to make it a big deal.
And there's no reason. There's no reason for it. Dude, I'm gonna go crazy.
I want to know. I do want to know.
Video.
We're talking some of this stuff here. We're talking about the military a lot, right? And it all ends. Elle's gone. Bobby yapping, and that scene ends, right? And it brushes away. Door brushes away. Like, didn't Hopper and them still murder a bunch of military people? Like,
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Like where's the explanation of like the pardon, right? Like they said it was an earthquake. Like I feel like Linda Hamilton was still pretty pissed, right? Like that. I feel like that's
she just leaves.
I'm sitting here thinking about all
killed
things.
A shitload of them guys.
Gaping, right?
Yeah.
Like they
dude,
didn't do Linda Hamilton a solid and like save them. They're like, okay, thanks for saving us.
They had no idea.
Well,
Scooby Gang.
They actually were their villains. It was like the end of the Lord of the Rings. They get back to the Shire and they got like all the military there invading. You know? Like, oh God.
Also kind of took me by surprise. I guess Elle kind of kills people in season 4, but really it's only like the helicopter she brings down. I think that's like, she doesn't really kill people in this show. And then the start of the season, she like gets into the base, and I saw people say that she like breaks that one soldier's neck in the tower. And I was like, no, I thought she just knocked him out. And like, no, she walks into a room in the finale and just kills like 7 dudes and then forces a dude to shoot himself. That's so
cool.
Over the top, brutal. Dude, it's cool. But also like, that's where I'm like, what are the power scales? Because if she can do that and like, she can literally rip a helicopter out of the sky. What's the issue when they hop out of the truck? Just kill them all. What are we doing? Like, she clearly is powerful enough to do stuff, but not other stuff. She can flip a truck, but she gets a nosebleed from that. But like, dude, it's just like, so when you set up someone that is a telekinetic, I feel like you have to really give them a limit. And 11 only has limits based on what scene she's in.
That's kind of true. I do feel that way. Yeah. I also think she doesn't like killing people. Like that guy, she wasn't planning on killing the guy when she broke into the thing. And then I think he saw her or something. And then she had to end up killing him, or she got, she was hanging or something. So I don't think she wants to do it unless she actually has to, because she is a child.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
but I do
weird
get
though
what
that
you're saying.
it's never touched on that like this child kills people now. There's like a child soldier in this show, and it's never addressed. It's
That's what
odd.
Hopper always tried to protect her from. That's why he tried to, always handle things himself because
Okay.
And like have a moment with Hopper where he's like, you're going down a dark path. I don't know, like anything.
What like Darth?
He was in Nom. He was literally in Nom. He should be the dude that's like, you shouldn't kill people. But
hey, how did it feel to
He was
shoot that guy in
blinded.
the head? Are you okay?
yeah, one. Just give me one. Hey, that was a crazy moment.
It's like Anchorman. It's like Trent killed a guy. Like, we just, like any of us in here just talk about what we've done. Also, I wanted one person. I think a character. Like we talked about Joyce like getting the kill at the end, and I'm totally cool with that. I mean, I love that character, but she just spent the entire season sitting in the radio station. Like I just like feel like that character should have gotten a lot more. She got to go on the final walkabout, right? But like besides that, she just sat there the whole season,
like babysitting Will. Yeah,
who didn't need to be babysitting? He's a goddamn superhero.
Exactly.
How about Hopper being, so loving the dad role he had with Jane with 11, but I feel like when she died, which she definitely didn't die, because they're leaving that door open for 10, 15 years from now to bring her back and do a movie or a one season thing. Whatever.
I hate everything.
I feel like he wasn't that upset in the epilogue. Like she's gone, and he didn't really seem to care.
That's the one thing that I'm okay with, I guess, because it was Hopper being like, I could repeat what I did for the last decade or however long, I guess this was 4 years, which is fucking insane to me, like in universe. But like, I kind of enjoyed the fact that he was like, when he has that speech or the talk with Mike and he's like, you could go down two paths, man. I was like, okay, that's cool because it's him being cognizant of like why he was doing what he was doing because he didn't believe that like, he deserved to be happy. And he chose happiness, which is cool. It was one of the cooler moments in the episode.
I'm happy he had a happy ending. He proposed to Joyce. That was cool. And then
that
was
the little
real, bro.
The Easter egg of let's move to Montauk.
Montauk, I like that.
This series was originally supposed to be in Montauk, not Hawkins. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I thought that was a cool little nod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you liked about the finale, Xander?
No, not a single fucking thing, dude.
Damn.
I guess I liked
with Will?
Which
when he's like in his mind and he like was that was that episode, right? And he turned his head and he's like speaking through him and was like, run.
Oh no, that was
previous.
The episode before, yeah.
You're talking about when he rips off Vecna's hands, you mean?
Will did about that part.
Ripped off Vecna's hands when he stopped his hand from like getting Elle, like he reached it out and like Elle wasn't gonna be able to stop it. And Will did. I thought that part was pretty sick. It kind of, gave me like volume 1 nostalgia. But Xander, what you were saying before, like why Elle didn't get off the truck and like kill everybody, I think that was the point. Like she could have, but she wanted to escape. Like she had to get away. Like the promise that she had with Callie to leave and not be his number. I think, like I said, I think that this was all like a plan. Like she could have probably, if she wanted to have the happy ending and like we all wish that maybe she could have had, then yeah, I think she probably could have like decimated the entire army with like her powers if the Sonic thing wasn't on. But the Sonic things were on, and I think they had a plan. That's why I don't think she killed everybody off the soldiers at the end. And I think Hopper figured it all out.
The way you end this, I think I said this when we did our review of the first chunk of stuff. The way you end this show and don't make me hate you, I guess, in one way, is like 11's powers are tied to Dimension X. When the bridge closes, she loses her powers. The army has no more use for her. And they're like, oh, you know, powers? They like you have it somewhere in there. The army knows that all these kids have powers because this wormhole's open. When the wormhole closes, they're like, well, they don't have powers anymore, guys. Wrap it up. Go home. That's it. That's like how it should have. And then you have a little thing where she moves a chess piece with her mind, you know, like give me an X-Men callback. I'm like, oh, does she still, is it still a thing? No. Oh yeah, maybe. But what they did was like a cop out where you get the impact, like the emotional impact of killing your main character, which is cool. But then you also leave the door open in such a way that it's like the most possible like outcome for the ending of the show. So one, you can bring a person back in a franchise, which I hate. Oh, bye, Billy.
Where'd
Bye,
he go?
Billy. He
his
said the
son.
baby's clearing.
Oh,
He'll
he
probably
did.
be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where'd
he
you
put
say
it in
that?
our
Private
live
chat,
stream
private
chat.
Yeah.
Private chat.
So like they did it because they wanted to leave the door open for Millie Bobby Brown to come back, and also because they're too afraid. I genuinely believe they were too afraid to make a decision. I think they wanted to kill Elle, but they made it ambiguous so that no one can yell at them.
Ooh,
Which is-
wait, what? Sorry, what Rosetown just said. The bridge is gone, but Dimension X still exists.
Right.
It still exists, but we're not connected to it. So you could be like, that's where their powers are coming from because the wormhole was open.
Yeah, but not really for
Okay.
Elle because it's in her blood. She's gonna carry that no matter what because it's part of her DNA. Like she
Because
already
of her
has
mother.
her
Yeah.
particles part of
Yeah,
her
but if their
DNA.
powers were from the Mind Flayer
I
is
don't
not around.
No,
I think
the,
you
I
can.
think the Mind Flayer gave her powers. They're not from them. Like Will's powers were from the Mind Flayer. Like Elle got her powers from the Mind Flayer. Like, it's injected into her blood. Like she's the one that's innate. If you ask
Right.
me.
So her DNA won't change just because he
Her
dies.
DNA
Like,
is
she'll
not
still
gonna change,
have
but the
power.
connection would break for Will. Right. I think,
Which
no
Mind
matter-
Flayer could still be alive, as we said, with the black smoke. So technically, Mind Flayer still exists as well.
Right.
Just
And
Vecna's gone.
bloodlines. You can't change blood.
When Eleven sent Henry wherever, when she did that fight with him, that's when the Upside Down was created, right?
Yes, I gave an explanation on the last live stream. I don't know if you guys
So-
heard it because it was so choppy. So think about somebody like chewing gum. You know when you blow a bubble of gum. So like think of when you blow a bubble of gum and then you conceal it. So like you can just have the bubble out there. So that's exactly the best way I can think about it. So when Elle blasted Henry through in like she actually created the wormhole, aka the upside down, like that bubble. Like if you're chewing gum, like the gum was the real world, and she blew Henry through in the bubble and he popped out on the other side. And I know you can't really do that with when you're chewing gum, but Henry popped out on the other side, which was Dimension X. But that wormhole was created, which was pretty much the tunnel he traveled to get from our world to Dimension X. That tunnel that he traveled became the upside down, which Elle created.
So you're so what David or whoever just said that Rosetown is saying that since the abyss is still a place, but the upside down is gone, then powers should still be there. Is that what they're saying?
That's and that's
Okay.
what we were saying. Does Will still have powers? Technically, like, would he still have powers because Dimension X is still there? But Elle, no matter what, in my opinion, would have powers because it's in her blood.
I don't
Okay.
think he would because he has to get into the hive mind to use
He has to
like,
be
he can't
close,
just use.
which is why I
Yeah,
think he moves
just,
so
like, use
far.
them. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I
I
got
agree.
words in my face. I gotta like.
Oh, here, I'll move him. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
Words in my
I don't
face.
care.
So I like that also, I guess, is a giant plot hole then. I didn't even think about that. Like they say that Elle created the upside down right on November 6th, but then the
Mhm.
notes in the lab are from Brenner. I was assuming before Elle sent Henry to the upside down, or was the army always in the upside down taking notes? How did they figure out how to stabilize a wormhole if it was only in the time that
I
like
see what
it
you're
was
saying.
if it was only in the 4 years? So like I was under the assumption that the army created the wormhole that brought the mind flare particles that infected Henry because that's how it's explained. But then also, yeah, we're led to believe that like Elle created the upside down by sending Henry to another dimension. So
Yeah, that's confusing.
The
as fuck.
only
Yeah.
explanation I could possibly think of, and again, it wasn't explained, so shitty job to the writers, and I don't know if it'll be explained in a spinoff. But the only explanation I can believe is that we don't know what Henry's job was. His job wasn't to play with the fucking kids. So I think that was Henry's office, and that's Henry's notebook, and he did all those notes. And if you think about the bubble theory, like when you blow that bubble, you can't change when you blow the bubble. So it was like a snapshot of that exact day of November 6, 1983. So the snapshot of whatever was there in that world at that time is exactly what you see in the upside down. So at that time, Henry's office was probably locked and just stayed there right? Because Brenner had left there and they kind of abandoned that place. So those notebooks were there, even though they might have been from an older time. Just like we saw Nancy's diary stuck on November 6, 1983, but she had things there from her childhood that she had quote unquote donated. So anything that was there on November 6th, so in my opinion, since Henry was blasted out a couple years before that in 1979, right? So 4 years prior. So 11 was still there for 4 years being experimented on after she did what she did with Henry. Because he was blasted out in 1979 and we got season 1 on 1983, which that didn't explain any, like that was one of the biggest plot holes for me because that's what they said. So now you have to correct the fact that it was actually on November 6, 1983 that Henry disappeared and was blocked. So that was the one issue that I had was their dates. I'm like, they fucked up on the dates again, just like they fucked up on the dates with Will's birthday. So they actually
forgot his birthday.
So they actually retconned it. So now everything lines up with the date, like I told you. But in the very beginning, when we all watched it, and a lot of the reviews that you see, it was 1979 supposedly, and then 4 years went by, which wouldn't explain how Elle could have created the Upside Down and still been there, right? Because supposedly she had left. So that was the whole. That's an issue or whatever, but supposedly that's how it all happened. So his notebook and everything was still there because that was like his little office. Because remember, he was working for Brenner. He wasn't like there babysitting the kids. He was there observing the kids to see and make his like plan and plot to get out because he was like, secretly, plotting something with the Mind Flayer. But the whole time he was looking for his way to find somebody to power the Mind Flayer to bring the Mind Flayer to Earth.
Crazy shit, man.
I don't know if I'm right.
I'm too slow for any response to that.
It is basically like a weird patchwork of like explanations that it annoys me, I guess, the most because the Duffer Brothers didn't even think about it that much. And I'm like, you guys created this shit, and it also makes me mad. I was thinking I was taking a poop and I was scrolling through Stranger Things theories. It's a good time to scroll. There's like a thing on Twitter right now called Conformity Gate, which is like everybody thinking that there's going to be another episode and looking for all the clues. I was like, man, I really wish all these people would just watch From.
Yes.
That is like what everyone wants Stranger Things to be. It's From.
The theorizing, the deep,
and like the things in the background are there on purpose. And the mistakes
100%.
aren't really mistakes. Like all that shit. Though it's winter this time, there's an explanation for it. I guess that's... it's not where my brain wants to go for something like this because that's not what Stranger Things is. But they set it up in a way where like there's so many intriguing things about this show, and the show ended up not being about those intriguing things. It ended up being about like nostalgia, like 80s nostalgia. I'm like, damn, that's a bait and switch for the ages, I guess.
I think that's a perfect explanation, Xander, to be quite honest, to explain why there's like such an uproar and a difference in opinions. That's exactly perfect because it was kind of sold to us as something different. I mean, it was only planned for one season. So it was definitely packaged as something different and became this whole 80s nostalgia coming of age story that they quote unquote had planned this entire time, even though they only had a green lit for season 1, but didn't have an idea about Vecna until season 3. Whatever. I think that they're lying to cover their asses because they made a fucking shit ton of money off of it and they're hoping this like completely like launches their career. So I get why they're covering their asses, but I guess because we are so good at theorizing, we could kind of fill in the plot holes, and they did a shitty enough job writing, but a good enough job of being shitty that we're able to kind of piece things together if we're imaginative and creative enough, which is like a whole nother 80s theme. So I kind of like that. You know what I mean? I kind of get it and I like it. But you're right. Compared to all the shit that we watch now, like Severance and From, we're sitting there looking for things like
it's a different show.
It's a different type of show.
It's just not that kind of show.
It became something different. You're right. We got to bait and switch. 100%.
What's Danny DeRita getting at here?
The play says Brenner's dad was a U.S. Navy officer involved in secret experiments whose experiences Dimension X/the Abyss, the Upside Down on the USS Eldridge in 1943, which needed to be mentioned. So Danny's talking, he's talking about how they acquire the particle for the Mind Flayer in the play, which is like a whole conspiracy theory thing with the U.S. Navy and the USS Eldridge disappearing. But that's just like another weird plot hole, I guess, because that means that the army created the Upside Down in 1943, and for some reason it's stuck 40 years into the future after 11. It hurts. It hurts to think about.
I agree with you.
Even, dude, I wish Billy was here for this because we are Lost defenders and there is not a lot of them left in the world. But Lost,
I like Lost. I love Lost.
Beautiful. It's like it's what the ending of Lost is what this show thinks it did, where the ending of Lost is like an ambiguous ending, but it wraps up all the things you need wrapped up. And like there is plot holes left, but there's not a lot, and they can be explained not in a way that like Jen just had to explain. Like they're not plot holes where you're like, oh, this is completely fucking bricked and broken and explained in multiple ways, and it doesn't like meet in the middle. Where Lost is like, oh yeah, this was probably this, and that's like good enough. It just fills in the gaps well enough, and I think it even ends in a better emotional place where you get to see every character and they kind of like nod towards what they've been through, but it's not like explicitly shown on screen like, oh, Lucas and Max live happily ever after and Dustin still hangs out with Steve. I'm like, damn, we need a dude. And like, I can't like Taylor, this is Taylor's point, but like we're on the roof, we got the four of them hanging out, and they're like, oh, we never do this anymore. And I can't think of a time in the show where those four people are in the same fucking room talking ever. Never happened, which is crazy that they didn't figure out how to fit that into a scene. But also, it just goes on. They're like, yeah, we could meet at my dad's house or my uncle's house in Philly. He's got a weird basement. Hey, Jonathan, you could shoot your movie down there. Oh my God. I'm like, yo, what is happening?
Yeah,
well, I could have had so much more show. Like a 50-minute wrap up for all your characters is so self-indulgent that I want to fucking puke. It just goes on and on. You could have given me like the beginning half of that episode for an hour and a half and then just give me like a 15-minute D&D scene at the end. I only needed to see the D&D scene with the kids. That's it. Maybe the graduation and then the D&D scene. That's all you really need.
True. I do love that he did the thing Eddie said he was going to do.
Right. I love that.
That was cool.
I like that part. I like that part a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like someone else wrote that because that was the one thing in the episode I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like the way this is written is competent, and it just did not feel like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys noticed, they do this thing where I think it's like 80s nostalgia drama bait, but they repeat the beginning of a line over like Hopper is talking to Elle and he's like, I need you to believe that you're more powerful than you think you are. I need you to believe. They like do that. They'll just like repeat the first half of a line at a person over and over and over again to the point where I was like, I could tell what the next line was going to be because it was always a repeat of the beginning of a dramatic line. I'm like, just stop. What are you doing? It's not. Oh my God. It was so bad, dude. It's
Real
so
quick,
bad.
Julie B, we need to collab on something.
Hello, Julie.
Definitely interested in making a collab happen. I see you're in our Discord now, so we could chat about that. So yeah, we're gonna be covering Hijack. What else we got coming up, guys? Anybody know?
From in April.
In April.
Yeah.
From hopefully. What are you talking? You planning on dying before then? That's the only way you're missing that.
Didn't you
we're
say
gonna be doing
Paradise
recaps for all the From seasons. Paradise we're gonna be covering. Yeah, when's that come out? Anybody know?
Paradise is coming out in I think July. I think it's gonna be this.
Okay, that's a while. That's a while from now. Sorry.
So we'll fill our schedule up. We'll find more things.
Hopefully, some cool shows start.
There's some cool shows coming out.
We got to cross 10K, dude. It's killing me. Every day I look at it, and we're not there yet, and I just want to get there. So
yes, like, share, subscribe, guys. Come on,
we will get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
My life has no meaning until we get there.
Stop. It's not about the climb. Wait, what is it? It's not about the end. It's the climber. The view. It's the never mind.
Is that a Miley Cyrus?
I don't know the quote anymore.
Dude, and then if you watch the very ending where Mike is explaining everything through the like, I have a way, I guess, I like an obsession with like trying to hear what a writer is trying to say. Because a lot of times people are putting themselves into their writing. And to turn Mike into a writer and basically be like, I am the Duffer Brothers. I'm the best. In the last scene, like, what?
Oh
That's
my
like
God.
the most ridiculous thing. Like, they just gave themselves a pat on the back in the show, in the final episode, in the final scene. That they're like, thank you so much. We are the best. Oh, we're so great. The Duffer Brothers, everybody.
So
Yeah.
I did cry in that scene. I can't say I didn't. When they were putting
was
their books back,
good.
I cried. When the kids came down, I cried. And he was
It's
staring at
good
them.
because of like
It's
the
over.
viewing of the show. Yeah, it's good because it's over and that's the characters that we've been with. It's not good because of what is being said. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
good
feel you.
because I'm like, oh, the show's ending. That's like emotional because
was
I
just
spent
a
so much
feeling,
time.
yeah, I had, yeah.
Yeah. Where it could have been, I could have cried.
When
I was
all
right
those-
there.
When all the kids were putting their actual books back, and like it looked like they were not even acting. They looked so like they were really
Oh,
crying.
for
like,
sure. They were
Lucas, Max,
children.
yeah, they were all. And
Yeah.
then I saw a reel because I didn't notice that. I definitely zoomed in to look at the books, but I didn't look at the books to the right. So there's a reel going around that one of the books to the right, I forget the name of the book. It's a yellow book. Is a
Score for
story
it.
that everybody knows. Like I forget what it is, but it's a story about somebody faking their death. And then, you know, like I'm sure you've seen like Will and Mike, the eyes line up. So it says 11. And then that's the book to the right of it.
She's
and
alive. She's definitely alive.
I agree 1,000%.
there's no
She's
doubt in my
alive.
mind.
I think they want
remember,
us to
was,
think she's
looking,
alive.
I've gotten like so many clues, but I like that part. I was like so emotional. I was hysterical crying. And then
Eddie.
seeing Mike's face, like his face, like his emotions on his face were amazing. I was
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
blown
agree.
by his acting. It was great.
She has to be
Generation
alive, but I
getting
don't think
off
they would
and-
have. Sorry, I don't think they would have showed her, like, you know, walking and finding that town with the 2 waterfalls if she wasn't alive.
No,
I think
plus
they
the
would have just
David-
cut that. Why
Dude,
show
I
that?
think
Oh, yeah.
they did that because Netflix was like, we don't want ambiguity at the end of this. We want people to feel happy because they ended up like that scene. I think it was like $5 million or something. They like flew to Iceland and shot that alone with Millie Bobby Brown after the season was done shooting. I think it's because the producers were like, what? Like, I think they had Mike explaining and they didn't have like any footage of 11. I think it was just Mike kind of explaining and they were like, no, give me happy ending. Yeah, give me Disney Channel ending. Exactly.
Yeah.
Disney Channel ending.
How are we going to pay her $50 million to come back if she's dead, guys? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I heard she wasn't happy with her ending either. A lot of people were, and I look like Erica
Really?
wasn't very happy because she didn't really have a solid closing.
No,
I think
I
she
don't-
could have had a bit more arc. People love her. She's like a fan favorite.
I was really disappointed by that. I think we spoke about that on the Discord, Felicia. Like Erica did not get a satisfactory ending. And like
Mhm.
I think Xander, you mentioned it earlier, like where the fuck did Murray go? Those are 2 solid characters that I wanted some kind of closure with. Like we fucking
Yeah.
see Derek in the stands like for graduation.
Murray
Where
was
the fuck
there.
is Murray.
Murray was sitting next to the teacher.
Murray was at the graduation
Oh, he
Yeah.
was.
But you don't
Yeah,
know anything
love-
for like
about him.
0.5
love-
seconds.
I love Mary.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Like
do
you
wish.
didn't know anything.
We could have
Yeah,
gotten more.
And
He
Erica
should have died.
She was at the graduation with the confetti, but like
Yeah.
what
He
happened?
He should
with
be
Erica?
dead.
He should
If
have
he got
died. When he didn't
killed-
die in that soon you predict in the scene that you predicted in our video, I was so
Yeah.
disappointed. I'm like,
I was
missed
so
opportunity.
mad.
Missed
died.
opportunity.
Yeah, or like when he straps the like grenade to the C4, I was like, he's gonna
Yeah,
he's gonna
he's
jump
gonna
off
die.
the roof. And
Yeah.
he runs to the edge of the roof and throws. I was like, oh my god, just die, dude.
Right. I'm like,
Like,
he's gonna jump,
oh.
jump, and then he didn't do anything.
It would have been cool if he had a
Oh my
badass
god.
death. Yeah.
My kitty. Sorry, I've been turning.
Not even
around
a
and keep
badass
looking at
dude.
her.
I
Now
just
don't see
needed.
her.
I think, like I saw the Duffer Brothers talking about it when they're like, yeah, we're not Game of Thrones, guys. Like, we don't have to kill people for shock value. And I'm like, it's not about the shock value of killing a person. That's it. Like in Game of Thrones, it became that eventually, I think. But the reason you kill people, it's like Lord of the Rings. Like the reason people die in Lord of the Rings is because it shows that there is like a toll to be paid for your goals. And nowhere in this entire show is there a cost for people to reach their goals outside of B characters that don't impact the
True.
story at all. And we see Bob as a flashback. Like that was kind of weird when Joyce is going to kill Vecna and it flashes back to like Bob dying. I was like, oh yeah, she liked him.
Poor
What?
Bob.
Like,
Stop trying to
poor
make
Bob.
me cry on this stream, dude.
Dude, Bob and Barb and Eddie and Max's brother, like Billy. There's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, people died, but there was no, like the group doesn't change. And I'm almost disappointed that they go back and play D&D like nothing happened, because it really makes it feel like nothing really happened.
Yeah.
I think it's just trying to convey the way they have to live, though, because 18 months go by, the military is like up and gone. There's no cracks left, and they had like that was a big part of their history, and like that was in Dustin's valedictorian speech. He's like, I was really angry, and I think the fact that we didn't see that 18 months and what they had to go through at that point, they are finally okay with being adults and growing up and have accepted what the fuck just happened in their entire childhood that is just fucked up and dealing with that trauma. And they're like, all right, we can sit down and play some D&D and just act like none of that shit happened, because it's going to be the last time we're together. We're about to all go in separate ways.
That's what I was going to say.
It's been 18 months. Don't forget that jump. So to me, it was kind of realistic, because, I mean, like, how long are you going to sit there and dwell on shit? Like 6 months, a year? At what point do you fucking pull your pants up and keep it moving?
Bro, I hear you, but as a high schooler, I think going through a wormhole to another dimension to kill a kaiju with your bare hands as you watch your friend with superpowers fight another guy with superpowers, and then you come back and 18 months later, Steve's a sex ed teacher? What? 18 months? I think the last job we saw him have was at a fucking video store, right?
I mean, to be honest, it's pretty easy to become a teacher in the U.S. I'm not gonna lie, but I get what you're saying. I'm just trolling you. I get what you're saying.
Like it just.
Oh, sorry, Jen. No.
So much trauma. Sex ed teacher and a baseball coach, but like, I think like it's not supposed to be realistic at all, and this is why I'm not too hung up on this, but. Having a bunch of teenagers literally go to another dimension and fight fucking Godzilla with their bare fucking hands, and then not like they're all like, when they're driving back, they're like making jokes and like cutting each other off on the road, like, haha, assholes. I'm like, what's going on? What? Like, you guys should just be sitting in silence, like, whoa, like that was crazy. But I don't know. Derek's just like waving at Mike, and Mike's like, hey. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Stop, that was so sweet. And
it was
Mike's
sweet.
His best friend. So
it was
he was
sweet.
Like, yo, my
yes.
BFF came to save me.
But
when
like,
he hugged Steve, Steve cleaned off his little glasses and put them back, and he hugged him. That was so sweet.
Okay.
But it was
weird. How old are they supposed to be? 11, I'm assuming?
Yes.
I forgot how old they said that group was.
So like
they're 7 to 9.
Someone who is like slightly older than your daughter. Like goes to like gets kidnapped and dragged to another dimension and has like an alien tube shoved down their throat and like is possessed, and it's like yeah, they're kids and they bounce back, but like none of them are freaked out even a little bit that like they just got pulled. They should be a little freaked out. I don't know.
Should be freaked out.
He's not like, hey bestie, like what?
Yeah, if they even like, I know like, because they were more in their minds than they were.
They'd win in 5 minutes, David.
What?
He said, I want to see them fight actual Godzilla.
Oh.
This team is so OP, they would take down Godzilla in 5 minutes, bro.
I mean, they should have. Someone should have died in that fight with the Mind Flayer. I mean, it made no sense. He didn't just walk right over them. Like, he was ginormous.
Dude, and like they foreshadow like the 3-headed dragon so many times, and I was like, oh, you know, maybe some heads are gonna pop out. And nope. Not in the budget. Sorry, we couldn't give him 3 heads. Could only do 1.
I thought that there's a Hydra was gonna pop out too. I was like all about it.
We thought Eddie was coming back. We had very high hopes.
We had crazy theories, and
I basically just needed anything to happen, like anything at all, outside of they fight the big bad guy and win. I just needed like anything else, and we got that. That's it, and the wrap up, which was nice and fine. Yeah. It was fine.
It's okay, Xander. It's over now. So,
dude, did Hopper have to propose to Joyce? That's also like
there needed to be a happy thing. This guy grieved his daughter, and now he needed a win. Let's just give it to Hopper. Needed
the
a
happy
win.
thing is the date. You know, like it's not that bad. It was just like, you know, they end up together. I don't need to see it. You know.
Put Julie.
Wait, one more thing.
Romantic.
Was it the same ring?
That Jonathan had, it looked like
it looked like the exact same ring. Like he picked it up in the upside down, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'll put this to use." Yeah.
Very funny.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, Steven Dustin had the pointy sticks doing damage to a kaiju, and then somehow this thing that is like the size of 2 city blocks collapses in flames, and they get out just fine. And Nancy walks in to it after it's dead to find it's on fire. What? Where did she walk into? The mouth? Like,
Yeah.
holy
The little hole
shit.
that 11 made. The little hole
Yeah,
that
but wouldn't that be on the
The little-
ground? Because it fell on its stomach and like it's on fire. I was like, oh, Elle's gonna have to find a way out. Like she's gonna like rip out the back or something. No, they just walk out of the door. It's fuck, dude.
You're too funny.
I'm sorry.
Your points are valid. They are very valid.
Thanks. I appreciate
It's
it.
like Billy said earlier,
Yeah.
it's definitely like a fucking old ass video game, like Nintendo, like original Nintendo 80s video game where like all the levels you fight are super fucking hard and you get to like the big bad boss and you literally have to like, walk across to get the hammer. It's like one hit. It's like nowhere near as hard as all the other levels we're getting by, which is so not like the video games we play today. That's like such a huge contrast. So I don't know. I agree with everything that you say, but for what it was set in the 80s, I thought it was perfect for the 80s.
Yeah, and I guess the way I was hoping that they were going to lean in the 80s nostalgia was like the very bleak endings of 80s movies where they're like, no, actually nothing's okay. Bye. Like that was a cool part of the 80s for me when like a lot of sci-fi stuff just ended with like, actually everything is bad. Like that's cool. That's way cooler to me. It's way more interesting and it leaves me with like thoughts. It's kind of like, where's Corey?
Just a 2-second clip of her blasting a new exit hole would have been nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, just ripping out. And like, why does she hug Nancy so close? Have they ever like had a relationship? No, I don't know. Why didn't she talk to Max for the whole season? They were fucking best friends. They don't even
Trauma bond.
talk.
Yeah, I thought that was so strange. Even her reaction to when Max was awake again, I was like, this is not the reaction I
She's
thought.
just like
After 2
mogging in the
years.
background, like,
So
She was
wait,
like, you're here.
Hey,
did
All right,
you
all
say-
jokes aside, though, I when I watched it, I sat there and I didn't hate it. So it's all
Same.
I
me
can say.
too. Me
Did you guys-
too.
Did you guys say earlier there was no deleted scenes from the finale, right? But there's
That's what
been
Xander
deleted
said.
scenes from the season.
no deleted scenes in the entire series except for season 1.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Because I thought I read somewhere, it's probably a fucking fake news, that there was deleted scenes of Elle and Max talking while Max was in a coma, which
I
would
saw that
explain why they had like a weird hug in the hospital when she like came to, because they already had conversations, which would explain why she was able to go into Max's head when she was with Callie. Like it gave a little, like there was a scene about it, something about that they had done earlier. I was like so hoping to get like deleted scenes, hopefully released at some
too.
point. But I guess
Me
not.
too. And I read that as well. That's why I'm like, there's so much fake news when it comes to this show. People are just like writing things and then we believe it. I feel like a little dumb.
Kangaroo
Um,
court.
And I think it's probably a lot of cope, you know, people being like, no, it's good, you guys. It's missing all the good. It actually is good, but all the good is just missing because of those damn Netflix people wanting it to be shorter.
It depends
So
what you
Xander-
want from it. Like I got the nostalgic part of it and I felt like
Yeah.
that was there. But if you wanted more like action and stuff, like you gotta, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I'm like, go watch Avengers, man.
But it's the same problem as Avengers and Marvel, where like there's so much buildup that they don't know how to like take it up to get
Close
a climax for the end. Because like it all looks like it's leading up to something, and that up is just like, which
Yeah.
is it happens a lot in superhero movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I agree
please.
with that
Very,
comment that Julie had
very.
right there. I think that they clearly deleted scenes too. So when they say that there aren't any, I'm like, I don't know which one's the fake news. Because
Yeah.
to me, there has to like they filmed so much. Don't tell me there's not deleted scenes.
I could
Like,
see
they're
them
weird.
saying
Right.
it just so people aren't like, release the deleted scenes forever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it did. There was a lot of this season that I was like, wait, what? Like it feels like there is little context scenes missing in a lot of
Right.
places.
Like
Yeah.
they just went through and were like, delete this, delete this, delete
Yeah.
that. I don't know. Maybe
we
they
need
had
shorten,
more
shorten.
written. I heard Netflix likes to cut things, like tell people to make things shorter. I know, like, I don't know if anyone watches K-pop, like that movie, but that, for example, there was an extra 2 hours of footage for that movie. So there were certain scenes that Netflix had them cut that I feel like they do with all of their big things for some reason. And then everyone's mad at them. So I don't know why they do that in the first place. People want more.
Like the original schedule of showtimes were like 2 hours, and like the Duffer Brothers had promised us like a movie like episodes that they said were going to run like 2 hours. And when they released the original schedule, almost every single episode was over 2 hours, and like the finale episode was like what, 3 hours. So you can't tell me that Netflix didn't fucking make them chop the whole shit up and re-fucking piece it together to give us what they gave us.
Love you, David.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Welcome.
7 months. Look at that.
7 months. For example, they didn't show how the gang got out of the abyss. Yep, they had to make a treacherous trip out of there and back down the tower, and didn't show it. And I don't even know. I thought it was implied that the tower wasn't a good way up, since Elle is like, hey, I got to jump on these rocks to get up there, which I was expecting to see since the beginning of the season is her training to jump. I'm like, oh, cool. We're going to get these big superhero. Nope. She just pops up and throws a fucking rock. And then, how did they all get back down, dude?
They wanted that shock of like, who threw the rock? But we all knew who threw the rock. We all knew
who else would throw a fucking boulder, dude. Oh man,
Xander is very excited for the spinoffs.
I am so excited.
He's gonna be the first one to watch.
Yeah.
I want you to make a video so bad on your gripes, man.
I could do that. I can make a whole. I can make it longer than the actual finale itself.
Oh my god! Imagine 3-hour video of Xander just ranting. Do it.
It just is like. I guess I'm kind of like the opposite of Jen, like in a way where like it's to me it's like the worst parts of 80s nostalgia in where it's like an excuse to be lazy, and then it's also the worst parts of 2025 where it's like we got to leave all these doors open because we're a franchise now, baby. I'm like, that's so disappointing. Like, give me a definitive end, and I think that they avoided the definitive end because they want to do spinoffs, and that is a damn shame.
Hey,
hello,
Debbie.
I think of it like the never-ending story. Like, we didn't know that she shouted out Moonchild for fucking decades. Like, there was like so many like 80s things that were left that way. So you're right. I definitely feel opposite on you on that for like all the same great, good, bad reasons, bad, worse, great, whatever reasons. But to me, because I like remember all of that, like as a kid, like talking with friends and stuff, like what the fuck happened, or like what's gonna happen next, or what happened with this, because that's how I've always watched shows. So to me, that's kind of exactly what I got with that, and I wrote it like I was a kid again. That's exactly how I wrote the show. So to me, like I said, it was perfect. But I see exactly everything that you guys are saying. Because if I was watching From, I would have a huge. This would not be this. Yeah, it was perfect. I'd be like, fuck that shit, blah, blah, blah. I'd be right there with you. And like I said, I agree with every single plot hole you guys say. But knowing how we were in the 80s and dealt with those kind of movies, I think it was exactly what that was. And again, I don't think that's how they intended it, giving us season 1, because that's all that they were like greenlit for. And that's as far as they thought they were ever going to get with it. So how they wrote it and changed it, like the bait and switch, like you mentioned earlier, is exactly what it was. And I am glad with what I saw, and I'm happy with it because of that bait and switch. And because I have that experience that I felt like I was a fucking kid again watching it. And I think that's why I love this show so much. I'm fucking 44 and I'm like, dude, I could be a kid. Like I'm like one of the kids at the like so I get. Hey,
I agree with you.
Smash that like button.
I think it's like it's kind of my gripe with all TV writing, I guess, in the Western world, where a lot of shows do really well in their first season, and a studio or production team or whatever is like, give me more, endless more, please. And you have to figure out how to extend something that was a story in itself. And it always fizzles. There's never like a show that's written with an ending, which I'm telling you guys, that's why anime is sweet, because it's written with an ending in mind and it's always good. But
I've always wanted to get into anime, but I feel like I can't do it now.
Why? I started watching some.
I'm too old for cartoons.
My brother
I haven't watched like all of them.
Loves it. Not that I'm too old. It's just like, where do I start? You know?
Oh, dude, I'll give you a list, bro.
Dude, yeah, just even if you're not gonna go for a list because that might be intimidating, just jump on Netflix, like Splinter Cell, Devil May Cry. They had oh my God, why can't I do it?
I watched a live action
Demon Slayer. So much shit is on Netflix that you can
The
grab.
live action Death Note was so ass, but I heard the anime or manga.
The anime of Death Note. Xander, how'd you like Death Note?
The movie or the show?
The live action one.
The show I'm torn on too. Like I don't really mess with the show that much because the most interesting character in the show dies like pretty early.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I won't say who because you just spoil yourself for a show that's like 25 years old. But like,
oh shit,
the best character in the show dies, and it's so bad that you're like, oh no, he's not dead for sure. And then you get to the end of the show, and I'm like, oh no, he was dead. Oh, that's crazy. That's so crazy that he was dead. I don't know, but yeah, it's and just overall, the show I think in history will go down as like it's the perfect example of what Netflix was and what it became, which was like a place for like people that couldn't get like actual TV shows made through giant companies, and they went to Netflix to bring their passion projects to life, and it turned into a giant behemoth of like somewhat palatable nostalgia slop, which is it's I don't know, I guess it's just what Netflix does now because they don't really do a lot of original ideas unless they're like Korean or something.
I agree with you there.
That was I 100% agree. That was beautifully said. I think you should do a whole video because you can totally in the last decade on how Netflix has changed and how these things go, dude. And you have the inside eye on that shit. You could do a whole video on how the industry of Netflix has taken over and like all the new moves that they're making. Let's go, Xander. Let's go. You know I love your content.
The fact that Sinners might be a Netflix movie soon if they buy Warner Brothers, that shit makes me want to die, dude. Makes me want to die, bro.
Wait, how would it be?
Because they want to buy Warner Brothers. Yeah. Dude, could you imagine? Dude, it's gonna happen, man. Dude, Sinners, bro. I'm so sad.
So mad.
Dude, like Tenet will be, Interstellar would be a Netflix movie.
They can't let that happen.
Crazy.
That's bad. That's bad for the theatrical experience because the Netflix doesn't believe in theatrical lifestyle, and they really can't let that happen. Sell it to somebody else,
please.
I like Netflix, but like they are not for theaters, and I'm a theater guy. I'm a theater guy through and through, so you can't let that happen.
Rosetown said, "Watch Invincible." You've never seen that, Dan? Have you seen Invincible?
I saw season 1. I didn't see the rest of it.
Dude, that show is so good.
That show's good.
That show's real good. You gotta catch it.
Yeah, I love when they killed Hopper. When Hopper was definitely dead. And they were like, oops, sorry. We really like David Harbour. Please come back. Terrible.
I think they struggle with firing their characters.
I heard today that Sam Rockwell was given the role, but he rejected it. Yeah, he turned it down. So it would have been him instead of David Harbour. Well, I love Sam
I'm glad
Rockwell,
it was David Harbour, though.
So am I.
He fits his role. He fits his role.
Yeah.
I think they all fit their role. Like, I don't think that was bad.
Casting was never an issue with this show. Definitely.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Agree to disagree.
I wouldn't say amazing, but I did like it.
I liked it.
I love you though, Fletch. Sorry.
Yeah, Fletch, love you.
All right, let's wrap it up. What's everybody's final thoughts?
You know mine. I enjoyed it. Even though I can hear Xander out, I think those things are very annoying. But I felt very satisfied, so I can't say I didn't. I can't lie. I sat there and I was crying like a baby. So
I want you to film yourself watching something emotional because I want to see you crying watching it.
You do not. I'll be like,
you ugly cry, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. But I have glasses, so I'm constantly just like, and then I have to wipe them off, and then I have to like do that.
I just wish I could be a fly on the wall, like revisiting you watching the finale.
I cry in most things, so me
that's
crying
why I
in
want
something doesn't say whether it's good or not.
I want you to stream video games too, because I feel like you're so emotional. Like, just
I get more annoyed at myself, like not the game, because I'm so bad that I'm more mad at myself. I'm like, fuck, like, yeah.
From season 4, neither can we.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
April can't come quick enough.
Confirmed. Felicia does not ugly cry.
There you go. Confirmation. There you go.
Good job, hubby.
My final thoughts. Yeah, okay.
Let's hear it.
Let's go. Hit it.
I think this is the most disappointing ending to a show since Game of Thrones. In a lot of ways, I think it is a worse ending than Game of Thrones. And I think the Duffer Brothers are like scam artists at this point that actually don't have any real talent at all. And they've relied on a team of people around them that are more talented than them. And they try to take control of the final season because they thought it was them and it was not them. It was
Sounds
a team
like
of
a video
people.
to me. Sounds like a video to me.
But from season 4, baby. Oh, that's going to come back. We're going to do so many theory videos. We're going to do so many.
I'm so excited. My first time.
We're going to do at minimum 3 videos a week for From. At minimum.
Oh, yeah. This channel is going to be From Invaders. That's it.
From Invaders. We're going to do
I have good theories for videos. From. Okay.
We can't wait for From. We should do another From live stream soon.
Yeah, a lot of people watch that day. People love that show.
Yeah, definitely. We do a giveaway too, or do like some trivia we can incorporate with that.
Yeah. We need some From merch.
I'm doing some rewatching in the Discord of rewatching of
I need to watch. I should watch.
Join our Discord.
Join the Discord.
Join. I'm doing a rewatch of all the seasons of From. I know we've done lots of that, but
and you can see you can rewatch with Jen. We will have recaps out for each season. Xander's still deciding if he's going to do season 1. Hopefully he can, but no pressure. I will be doing season 3. Felicia's doing season 2, and we'll see who does season 1, and it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Hey, Kimberly.
Thank you for liking and subscribing.
Thank you.
If anybody else wants to do that, feel free.
You could copy.
Please feel free. We want to get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible, so I have value in my life. Thank you.
Yes, baby.
Danny needs some validation, baby. Everybody make an alt account and subscribe to the channel.
We need like 450 more. Come on, baby.
I want to see Dan's face when we hit 10.
Same here. You need to live live record that.
If someone makes 450 YouTube accounts and subscribes to us 450 times, Dan will personally fly to you and give you a kiss. On whatever body part you choose.
I'll do whatever you want. I know you so well, man.
You can have 3 wishes. I'll be a genie.
I do a Lost rewatch every year, so maybe I will do that in the Discord.
Yes, Xander. Let's go.
I rewatched a few years ago. It's been a bit. I'm a mom. I don't got time for that shit.
Julie B, you need to watch Lost still, right? I think Julie B needs to still watch Lost.
Ooh.
Wow, that's you could deep dive on that, man.
It's peak.
Lost is great. Love Lost.
Actors are great.
Yeah. All right. Well, love you guys. Thank you for watching. Katie, Joe, and Vader. That's right. You guys are the best. And we'll see you soon for Hijack. I don't know if we're doing anything in the meantime, but that's like 12 days away. So we'll be back at it very shortly. And thank you for watching. Love you so much. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.